most recent Windows delivery. Oh. Yeah, my bit rate was horribly unstable. Oh my. I'm happy about this. Cutting out. Oh, is it that bad? Oh. Okay. Lag. Oh. Am I? Okay, how do I sound now? I'm going to speak to you. Tell me if they're any horrible. It's bad. Ooh. Okay. Do I have to restart Twitch? I love Windows. Okay, darlings. Parking. I am probably going to restart. Should I just retry then restart my router too? Because I'm noticing it's just my. Well, see you in a bit. Okay, do I still have my cutting out? I've made the issue was with my computer sessions, which leads me to the conclusion that let me do a thing here. Yeah, my encoder is involved right now. It's between 2 FPS and whoa, broski. What is happening? Okay. So I am just going to do this pin. Okay. I'm glad that you're doing achievable things. The moment though, hi guys, hi all the sweet beautiful darlings, hi Angel, Tachi, hi Malster. I'm getting 1 to 10 FPS right now. What? So I am going to read my computer. I'm just disappointed. Okay. I'm back. Encoder is at 30 FPS now. Wow. I love this. But hi, sweet darlings. I'm back. I'm loving OBS. Okay, let me go take the background here and fix it here. Because upside down fire kind of looks a bit jank, you know, broski. And yeah. We'll just go take that. What? Why don't I just double it? Here's what we call doing stuff live. Don't worry about any jank. It'll all be okay. we'll just go duplicate that. Move it to the right. It'll all be okay. Bam. Amazing. But, hi. I hope each and every one of you darlings is doing well. This is honestly not the first time I heard this issue today, because I was working in Caspella's chat for just a little bit, and they had to literally reinstall OBS because they're experiencing so many issues. But yeah. And hi Toaster, welcome in, my dear. Hi Artie darling, how are you? And how is each and every one of you beautiful, sweet, darling people? I hope you're all doing wonderful and doing slay today, and that you know what stories you want me to read, because I'll be real honest with you, I ain't got a clue.
I think the thing I love most about art...
You don't want to hear a Skillshare ad. My apologies. Bam. This is why I don't like jank. Whoa. But yeah, I've had an overall quite cozy day. This is me with the Blue Bunny bottle, as you can probably tell. I am having an overall slay time. Allow me a moment to open up my Twitch stream manager so I can actually see stream and not see my viewers, because I simply don't want to do that right now. And should I reping the server? Say stream encoder being weird, had to restart. I think I will, just because. But how are each and every one of you beautiful darlings? Darlings. Ooh. Yeah, go for it. Okay. Some days I really must admit to myself, I am disappointed with everything. You're not going to school because you still feel like trash because of cramps, so you're going to fall asleep during stream. That's perfectly fine, sweetheart. It's all good. And please, my dear, feel free to go and do a whole bunch of cozy, wonderful redeems. And you're nomming on a burrito, Artsy. I'm glad, my dear. Hopefully it's delicious, and you absolutely enjoy that delicious, delicious burrito, my dear. And hi, Anna. How are you doing, darling? I hope you are absolutely having a slay day. And hi, Trey, sweetheart. Welcome in, darling. And Ollie, you're able to come here. I'm great. Also, this will probably be the only time I will comment about followers this stream. I seriously went live and someone unfollowed. Weird chimp. Beans and cheese asada. That sounds delicious. And overall, sweet Anna, I'm having a wonderful slay day. The only biggest issue, I would say, yeah, Hogcat. I need to add a Hogcat to it. But yeah, that's just the weirdest thing to ever happen. Someone followed me, I was so disappointed in hearing my voice that they just said, no, I'm going to unfollow. Well, that's a kick in the head if I ever say so. Now, darlings, would you like Christmas stories? 'Cause 'tis a season? Or would you like short stories again? I'll probably pull up both. An anime, I missed you so much, dear. How are you doing, sweetheart? How are you, my dearest darling? Oh, Christmas stories. Ah, that sounds slay. Okay, I'll change title to reflect it. Nah, I'll be too lazy. Let me go do a bunch of kisses and then I'll, 'Twas the night before Christmas. Ooh. Don't you worry at all, sweetheart Ollie. You go get your rest, dear. Fall asleep well, and sleep well, my sweetest one. And let me go figure out what sweetheart toaster said here. Misgendering the name. Ah, that's the worst part, darling. But hopefully it all goes well, dear. And hi, Tori. How are you, darling? It looks like we're going to be reading some wonderful Christmas stories. And congratulations, Stargirl. How are you? And good job on 7 whole streams. My little birdie. My sweet, darling birdie teal. My little birdie. My little birdie. Christmas. Oof. I don't have enough words in that. Okay. Looks like I'll have to just keep track of all the stories I'm reading. And you're good. Oh. Thank you, HB Pencil, for the follow. If you, my dear, would like a free trigger, do !menu or triggers. I'm honestly curious if Nightbot will actually work. But yes, let's get to the coziness, shall we? It works. Wonderful. And thank you. While I myself don't like my voice, if you can find comfort in it like many people do, that to me will bring me happiness unperceivable to me many moons ago. Plug in all your night lights. Exactly, Pam. Plug in all the lights. Get the Christmas tree glowing. and we'll have a sleigh time tonight, darling. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the lustre of a midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eye should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny deer. When a little old driver, so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed in all fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose was like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The strump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke had encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face with a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. Did any of you know that bowlful is actually a word? That is the first time my whole entire life has seen it. But thank you, Pencil. May you rest well and get all cozy tonight. And I'll do your kisses after his story, my dear. He was chubby and plump like a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, laying his finger aside on his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. The End, by Clement Clark Moore. Pistachios taste great, though. And hi, welcome in, Freeze, my dear. How are you doing tonight, darling? I hope you're doing exceptionally slay. Now let me go do those kisses, and I'm going to ask you. Ooh, the fir tree. That's not what I know. A letter from Santa Claus. The night after Christmas. Interesting, interesting. Oh. A Charlie Brown Christmas. That one sounds wonderful. You know, I'm gonna be honest, of all these Christmas stories, there's only about 3 I know. That's kind of a little bit sad. The Christmas Masquerade. The Christmas in 1776. The Christmas Hamper. How Christmas came to Santa Maria Flats. Christmas at Felselig's warehouse. I remember that from A Christmas Carol. Oh, there's an idea. Darlings, how interested would you be if I were to read to you The Christmas Carol? In its entirety, perhaps. Or at least one of the first 3. And hi, Triscuits, my dear. How are you doing, darling? And oh no, you're typing lewd things in chat like pee-pee. You must mean the Tagalog word pepino or cucumber. Oh, going to burn your luscious locks. Silly, I can't burn. After all, I have you in my heart. And that is one of the greatest things in the whole wide world. Okay. And I'll do the kisses before I forget. Oh, it's raining and snowing outside. How enchanting. Kisses, then a praise for Toaster, and I think I'll do Frog a bit later on. So professional, it's unbelievable. I mean, I have thought about doing stories like this and just putting them on YouTube, but I'm a little bit lazy, you know. Well, yeah, think about it, Silicon. I could read to you, or read that story, record it in Audacity, put it behind some whatever, redeem at least one praise and stream. That's perfectly fine, sweetheart. And by the way, this happened before stream, but I was taking a sip from my coffee, and you know how you get cold brew coffee, but the container hasn't been cleaned in a while and you taste a bit of mold? That's what happened. I went out, bought a coffee like that. Real sad. And next redeem is going to be... Oh, that's actually freezing rain, not snow. Oh, great. Next redeem is going to be praise for Toaster. And Hi, Angel. Welcome back, dear. I hope you're having a great, cozy time. And Triscuits, how are you doing? Next redeem is my sweetheart toaster. I know you're having a difficult day today. So many issues over there. But I know it'll be good in the end, sweetheart. And I believe in you. So you take all the time you need. Know that the future will be better, sweetheart. And it'll all be good in the end. Just wait it out, and you'll do slay, okay? And you're doing good, just trying to get some good rest. Well, you go close your eyes. Listen to the freezing rain outside my window, because it's an old window where it's only a single pane of thin glass keeping me from the outside. Which kind of worries me. And yeah. And call me senpai or daddy. Good boy. 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 Good. Good boy. Good boy. Good. Good boy. Good boy. Good. Good boy. Boy. Yeah, I'll be real honest with you. I don't know why my voice sounds deeper today. It's probably because I didn't really drink enough. But, well, ain't that a kick in the head? Welcome on in, sweet milk. I didn't realize you were streaming me, but how are you doing, sweetheart? Have you sipped enough water? You ended stream rather early. Were you having a narcolepsy attack again, sweetheart? Oh, and random news, sweet milk. Someone won some character in Genshin. I think it was Darling Taro, who's probably sleeping right now. But they won some character, and I don't remember who it is, but they were telling me they got asked with 30 rolls instead of 50 or something. You lost, I ain't got a clue what that means, but okay. And oh my, it's a lot of redeems, sweetheart. I think I'll do them all after I read a few more stories. But I'll do the health check now so I don't forget. Okay? And welcome in, sweet raiders who came with milk. If you, my dears, would like any free triggers, just leave a follow and do exclamation point menu and type in chat what you would like. Okay? In the meantime, I'm going to be reading The Night After Christmas. I'll probably change my voice to sound more professional, but give me just a moment, sweetheart, as I drink a Dr. Pepper. Because that's legitimately the only thing keeping me awake after so little sleep today. The Night After Christmas was published in Dear Santa Claus, Charming Holiday Stories for Boys and Girls, 1901 by W.B. Carnegie Company. Author unattributed. How rude. 'Twas the night after Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, excepting a mouse. The stockings were flung in haste over the chair, for hopes of St. Nicholas were no longer there. The children were restlessly tossing in bed, for the pie and the candy were heavy as lead, while Mamma, in her kerchief, and I my gown, had just made up our minds that we would not lie down. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my chair to see what was the matter. Away to the window I went with a dash, and flung open the shutter, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the luster of the noonday to objects below, when what to my anxious eyes should appear but a horse and a sleigh, but old-fashioned and queer, with a little old driver so solemn and slow, I knew at a glance it must be Dr. Bro. I drew up my head and was turning around, when upstairs came the doctor with scarcely a sound. He wore a thick overcoat, made long ago, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. He spoke a few words and went straight to his work. He felt all the pulses and then turned with a jerk, the laying of his finger aside his nose, with a turn of his head to the chimney he goes. A spoonful of oil, ma'am, if you have it handy. No nuts, no raisins, no pies, no candy. These tender young stomachs cannot well digest all the sweets that they get. Toys and books are the best. But I know my advice will not find many friends, for the custom of Christmas the other way tends. The fathers and mothers and Santa Claus too, all exceedingly blind. Well, good night to you. I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, these feastings and candies make doctors' bills right. And welcome back in, Ribbon Writer. I don't know if you're in the server or not, sweetheart, but feel free to join. You'll get pings whenever I go live, and there's a wonderful group of sweet, darling people there. It is 16 plus, though. And sweet Snap. Hi, darling. Can you tell this is rigged a long, long time ago? But how are you doing, sweet Snap? Now I read to you a letter from Santa Claus. Palace of St. Nicholas, in the moon Christmas morning. My dear Susie or Sussy Clemens, I have received and read all of your letters which you and your little sister have written me. I can read your and your baby sister's jagged, fantastic marks without any trouble at all, but I have trouble with those letters which you dictated for your mother and the nurses, for I am a foreigner and cannot read English writing well. You will find that I made no mistakes about the things which you and the baby ordered in your own letters. I went down your chimney at midnight when you were asleep and delivered them all myself, and kissed you both too, but there were one or two small orders which I could not fill because we ran out of stock. There is a word or two in your mamma's letter, which I took to be a trunk full of doll's clothes. Is that right? I will call at your kitchen door about 9 o'clock this morning to inquire, but I must not see anybody, and I must not speak to anybody but you. When the kitchen doorbell rings, George must be blindfolded and sent to the door. You must tell George he must walk on tiptoe and not speak, otherwise he will die some day. And you must go up to the nursery and stand on the chair of the nurse's bed and put your ear to the speaking tube that leads down to the kitchen, and when I whistle through it, you must speak in the tube and say, "Welcome, Santa Claus." Then I will ask whether it was a trunk you ordered or not. If you say it is, I shall ask you what color you want the trunk to be, and then you must tell me every single detail which you want the trunk to contain. Then, when I say goodbye and a Merry Christmas to my little Susie Clemens, you must say goodbye, good old Santa Claus. I thank you very much. Then you must go down to the library, make George close all the doors that open to the main hall, and everybody must keep still for a little while. I will go to the moon and get these things, and in a few minutes I'll come down the chimney that belongs to the fireplace that is in the hall. If it is a trunk you want, because I could not get such a thing as down the nursery chimney, you know. If I should leave any snow in the hall, I must tell George to sweep into the fireplace, for I haven't time to do such things. George must not use a broom, but a rag, or else he will die someday. If my boot should leave a stain on the marble, George must not hollystone it away. Leave it there always in memory of my visit. Whenever you look at it or show it to anybody, you must let it remind you to be a good girl. Whenever you are naughty and someone points to that mark, which your good old Santa Claus's boot made on the marble, what will you say, little sweetheart? And your sussy sweet snap? Sussy baka. Let me go get a little stretch here. You know, I'll be real honest. Christmas stories are wonderful, and I do enjoy them greatly, darlings. Now, for another Christmas story. My worst issue right now is just trying to find short ones to read. Okay. Christmas Greetings from a Fairy to a Child by Lewis Carroll. Lady dear, fairies may for a moment lay aside cunning tricks and elfish play. 'Tis that happy Christmas tide that I have heard the children say. Gentle children whom we love, long ago on Christmas Day came a message from above. Still as Christmas tide comes round, they remember it again. Echoes still the joyful sound, peace on earth and goodwill to men. Yet the hearts must be childlike be. There such heavenly guests abide, unto children in their glee. All the year is Christmas tide, thus forgetting tricks and play. For a moment, lady dear, we would wish you, if we may, Merry Christmas, Glad New Year. Lewis Carroll, Christmas, 1867. You know, there's a pocket watch from 1867 I was interested in. Unfortunately, I just didn't want to get it because, well, it was actually 1888, but I didn't want to get it because I couldn't really think about spending too much money on that for such a small thing at that time. A snowman. And a Christmas ball. Oh, that's not too long of a read. And Ribbon, how are you, darling? I hope you're doing slay. Let me go do some wind triggers. And welcome back, dearest Milk. Did you just awake from a short nap, dear? If so, the answer to your question is yes. I had 2 slices of pizza, a pretzel, and I am drinking 2 Dr. Peppers mixed together right now. So the caffeine should keep me awake for a long time indeed. How are you doing? Oh, you're showing off your outfit to friends in a Discord call. Oh, Slay, send me a picture. You always have great outfits, darling, and you're just as perfect in them as you ever were. In the meantime, I'll read A Snowman by Anonymous. A snowman from a Christmas hamper, a volume of pictures and stories for little folks, was published in 1889 by T. Nelson and Sons. And a picture of me in my profile picture? Always. Oh, the beautiful snow. We're all in a glow. Nell, Dolly, and Willie and Dan. For the primest of fun, when all's said and done, is just making a big snowman. 2 stones for his eyes, but quite owlish wise. A hard pinch of the snow for his nose, then a big, mouth that's as big as the snout of a pig. And he'll want an old pipe, I suppose. Then the snowman is done, and tomorrow what fun to make piles of snow cannon all day, and pelt him with balls till he totters and falls, and a thaw comes and melts him away. Okay. Good night, sweet milk. Thank you for the wonderful raid, dear. It always means a lot. May you have a great cozy rest with a great sweet dream, dear. May you have great memories of great happy things. By the way, darlings, how's my audio? I don't think I asked. Is the background noise too loud, or is it just right? And thank you for the follow, Omega Rabbit. It's always so good to see another rabbit, dear. How are you tonight? And if you would like, do exclamation point menu for your free trigger. Everything sounds good. Okay, thank you, my dear. Now, let me go scroll up. The Christmas Ball by Mary E. Wilkins Freeman. From Mary E. Wilkins Freeman's collection, Once Upon a Time and Other Child Verses, illustrated by Etheldred B. Barry in 1897. You can almost hear the fiddlers playing and see the decked-out fairies dancing in the Christmas ball. Yeah, and just select one Omega that you would like, my dear, and I will do it for you. The fiddlers were scraping so cheerily, oh, with a 1, 2, 3, and the 1, 2, 3, and the children were dancing so merrily, oh, all under the shade of the Christmas tree. Oh, bonny the fruit of its branches which grows in the mistletoe brow. Paper tearing? Okay, I'll do it after this story, dear. Is that bro or bro? I'll just say bro. From the ceiling hung, the fiddlers were rosin their squeaking bows, and the brave little lads their partners swung. Oh, the fiddlers they played such a merry tune, with a 1, 2, 3, and a 1, 2, 3. And the children they blossomed like roses in June, all under the brows of the Christmas tree. and the fiddlers were scraping so merrily. Oh, with a 1, 2, 3, and a 1, 2, 3. And the children were dancing so cheerily, oh, all under the shade of the Christmas tree. The girl fairly, fairy in a cobweb frock, when all of a sudden a fairyland crew came whirling airily into the room, as light as the fluffy balls they flew which fly from the purple thistle bloom. There were little girl fairies in cobweb frocks, all spun by spiders from golden threads, with butterfly wings and glistening locks, and the wreaths of dewdrops around their heads. There were little fairy boys with enjeweled coats of pansy velvet of cost untold, with chains of daisies around their throats, and their heads all powdered with lily gold. The boy fairy in jeweled coat, the fiddlers they laughed till they scarce could see, and they fiddled so cheerily, oh, and the fairies and the children around the tree, they were all tripping so merrily, oh, the fiddlers they boxed up their fiddles away, the fairies they silently flew away. But every child at the Christmas ball had danced with a fairy first, they say. So they told their mothers, and did not you ever have such a lovely time at your play, my boy and my girl, that it seemed quite true that you played with a fairy all the day? And hi, Scarlet dear. How are you tonight, darling? Let me go do that paper tearing, and then I will do a praise for Sweetheart Teal, because I don't want to miss redeem, sweethearts. But you can tell me how you're doing, Sweetheart Scarlet. I think I may get up real quick and get some nice sounding paper to tear, okay? Because I have some thin stuff near me, but it just doesn't sound just as nice. Okay, let me go flip for my pages and find some. There. 1, 2, 3 sheets is what I'll tear. I'll go mute as I make a loud tearing noise. There. Okay. Get ready for this. It's going to be some wonderful tearing. It's thick artist paper, and it has a great little noise with it. Okay? I'll probably tear half of it because they are, 12 inches by 18, I think. Oh, hi, welcome in, Lynx. I'm doing slay tonight, dear. I'm having a great cozy time with you all, and for the longest while, I am finally drinking Dr. Pepper after a bit. I'm enjoying it greatly, darling. Oh. I'll go put that away. But bonjour, Lily. How was your stream, dear? I hope it all went well, and you're having a great, cozy time. Welcome in, Raiders. My name is Felix. I don't really remember my intro, but I am a cookie-obsessed femboy with a deep, cozy voice. I do ASMR, a whole bunch of triggers. They're all wonderful and cozy. And I know, it's a beautiful moon raid. And hi, Icky. Welcome in. And Lunali, Obashili. How are you doing? How's your stream? And you get 3 free triggers. And if you want, dearest one, you can go get yourself some food, some water, whatever it is you need to do, darling. Go do it if you need to. Or you can just do your triggers right now, fall asleep, then go do your after stream teardown with your mic and putting away all of your cozy triggers that you did for each and every one of your sweet, wonderful people. But to those who don't know, if you follow, you get a free trigger from the menu. So there's your incentive right there, sweethearts. I have a whole big giant menu because I'm frankly too lazy to segment it into various levels of redeems, but if you'd like, I can get to doing a whole bunch. Kisses? You'll not stay tonight, you're really happy. You wish me a great stream and a good night. Okay, I'll send you off with some kisses, Luna. And, what's the word for good night in French? Icky. What is it again? Bonne nuit. Okay, thank you. Bonne nuit. Ma chérie Lunelli. And thank you for the raid. It always means so very much. Thank you. May you have a great, great rest. And dream of my very fat cats. They're seriously so fat now that I kind of worry about them. But they're very warm, and every time I sit down, one of them quite literally comes up to me, goes, "No," jumps up, lays next to me, and just starts purring. It's so very cute. Good night now. They are incredibly fluffy. In fact, I commonly lay my head on one of their bellies, and I kind of don't like it, but it's soft, so I don't mind her randomly growling. Let me do some more kisses, and I'll get you back to being all cozy tonight. I remember when my youngest cat got her shots and she was so rude, hissed, and just came home and just went to random corners and hissed. The funniest thing was when she came home from being spaded. She was so out of it. She laid on the ground and just turned into a puddle. Randomly growled, randomly went it was so funny. It's been a while since that, because now I think we've had her for, oh my, nearing 3 years' time. Oh my. Yeah, inside the good bowl. I think one of mine used to sleep in a kitty litter for some reason. Yeah, that was a thing we had to make sure she didn't do. But, this is a cozy sounding story. But yeah, it was real wonderful, wasn't it? I might go turn down my gain because I don't want to hurt anyone's ears here. And turn down the ambiance just a little bit. There. Okay. Hopefully you'll find that better to your ears, dears. And my next redeem will be ear licks, and then I'll do a praise for Sweet Teal. Okay? Oh my, 𝓓𝓪𝓭𝓂. And hi, Roxy dear. How are you doing tonight, my sweetest, good kitty? Good kitty. Good kitty. Good kitty. Good kitty. Good kitty. in it. And let me go do a quick translation of Swedish just to double check it. It's been a while since I did Swedish, but follow the channel for a free trigger in the menu. Voor je den här kanalen voor yngre distrikter från menyn. Svenska. I have a few Swedish enjoyers. I think a few Norwegian too. And they always want me to read a little bit. It always makes me happy. Swedish, I kinda used to be better at, but now I'm not real sure. And thank you for the follow, Carolina VT. If you might do like a free trigger, just pick one from the menu, darling. It's all good. And oh my, how very wonderful. And how are you doing, sweetheart Roxy? And how is my audio balance now? I lowered it just in case there's too much of a differential between my audio and the audio of Sweet Luna. Because if there's one thing you kinda hate when you join someone's ASMR stream from a raid, it's when one is loud and the other's quiet, or the other's quiet and the other's loud. You know? Getting ready for sleep tonight. I'm glad, sweetheart. If you want any more redeems, sweet Roxy, my good, sweet kitten, feel free to do them. I'll be doing a whole bunch to make sure that each and every one of you is cozy tonight. My dearest, darling teal, such a great birdie you are, coming to each and every one of my streams, keeping me company, keeping me cozy. It really is so very kind of you, darling. And you truly deserve each and every one of the great, cozy AP sleepies who will. I'll probably do... Oh yeah, and if someone could answer me about the audio balance, is it good or is it a bit bad? Who will? The next story I'll be reading is The Snowflake Tree. You sound fine? Okay. By Mary E. Wilkins Freeman. And thank you for the follow, Calcifer VT. How are you, darling? If you like a free trigger, just select the pinned menu up above and type in chat what you would like, dear. It's all good. I may even do some ear licks if you want. I have them cheap because they're fun to do. The hawthorn is dead, the rose leaves have fled. On the north wind over the sea, now the petals will fall that are rarest of all. Sweetheart, from the snowflake tree, the tree in doth stand in that marvelous land, whose shore is like sapphire gleams, where a crown hangs high in the northern sky. Forth, well, that is Elix. And welcome in, sweetheart. Where a crown hangs high in the northern sky, forth raying its golden beams, It tosses, it burrows with its crystalline blows. They crackle and tinkle for glee when the north wind shrieks round the awful peaks on the shores of the polar sea, and never a bird its blossoms has stirred or built on its branches a nest, for the perfume which floats from the blossom's throats would freeze a song in its breast. And my own little bird, were her Goldilocks stirred by the wind through its branches which blows, with her song silenced all forever, would fall asleep on the silver snows. But our hearth burns bright, little sweetheart, tonight, and we're far from the snowflake tree. Thou canst nestle in bed, thy little golden head, and thy song shall awaken with thee. Earlicks time. Hi Vega, welcome in. And hi Forb, welcome in darling. Would you like some free redeems? You get 2 for your 2 gifted subs earlier darling. And you should probably get some sleep, sweet toaster. I'm sure you will feel better in the morning. Sleep well, dream well, dream of cozy, wonderful things, okay? Good night. And Vega, how are you tonight, my dear? I hope you're doing extra cozy and extra slay, my dear. Let me go do one thing here. My good, beautiful little pupper. So small, so adorable, so sweet and majestic, with your soft fur, your adorable beady eyes. How wonderful and amazing you are, my sweet, darling pupper. Would you like to sleep on my lap? I can wrap you in a small little blanket, perfect just for you. You'll look like a little puppy burrito, all warm and cozy. And then you can go to sleep and sleep well. Does that sound perfect, darling? And how are you doing, Forb? If you have any redeems, feel free to do them. I'll be doing ear licks for a little bit because I like them. Now I'll go quickly read some wonderful, cozy little stories for you. After all, tonight is supposed to be Christmas stories by the campfire. Or by the fireplace, rather. And good night, sweetheart Nancy. May you dream well, sleep well, and remember to stay slay and amazing. And rawr, 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 rawr. Rawr, 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 rawr. Rawr, 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 rawr. Rawr, 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 rawr. Rawr, 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 rawr. I've been real cozy over the past little week. I went out and had to delicious food twice. Pizza on both of those days. I had a little pretzel with that pizza too, so it was just divine. And I even bought cookies, mostly because I just haven't felt like baking this week, but I'm sure I can do them. It won't be a problem, you know. It'll all be good in the end. Also, sorry if you're hearing a bunch of clicks. A streamer or an artist whose lottery I won, they did art for me, and they made a cute tail for the bunny boy, and I think it's just perfect. And hi Fofa, welcome in dear. How are you doing tonight, darling? Exactly, look at that lotus tail right there. And hi Halo God, I forgot to ask how you're doing tonight, sweetheart. How are you, my sweetest, darling Halo God? And Train Master, welcome in. You know, I've been looking at train sets recently, and I forgot how expensive they are. But how are you today, Train Master? And sweet Fofa, I did get more EP Sleepies. I worked a little bit on the just starting screen, and it works now. But I started stream, and for some reason my encoder just decided to not be good. And so I was literally getting a slideshow. I love Windows. I did an update randomly. I didn't want to update. And because of that, everything just stops working. Calorie intake goal for the day, so you're eating a plate of peanut butter. Oh my sweetheart. That's quite a lot. I kind of have issues with either meeting it or overreaching it, just because I eat one meal a day and then a small snack after, or before, depending on how I do it. Normally I have a coffee and with a cookie, then about an hour or two later I pass out for a nap, and then I have a big dinner, and then I get to doing whatever, you know. I'm like a boomer, okay? Yeah. Pretty much, Sweet Vega. Pretty much. And for my next cozy trigger, I will be doing kalimba. Okay. You'll have to help me on this, darlings. I don't know if the kalimba will be too loud or too quiet, so I'll play a few notes and please respond as quick as you can, my dear. Now, here's a question, darlings. I'm probably going to upload this tail swish emote very soon, perhaps on stream if I can do it quietly. Should I get rid of the foot the animated foot. If you've never used that emote before, that's because literally last month it had one use. It's the one that Sweetheart Milk used. UwU. Honestly, if there ever was a motivation for me to get to partner, to which I have to be honest with you, I am quite off from, that would be it, darlings. I want to give you more emotes, to make it more worthwhile for you, because without your love and support, I simply wouldn't be doing this, because each and every moment I have you all in my life brings to me a great happiness. Thank you for that. There. I'm gonna go put that away now. I'll go grab my Dr. Pepper, take a sip from it, and we'll get right back to the coziness. I think I may do the frog too. I don't know if that will be loud enough, but it should be okay. Dr. Pepper is love. Dr. Pepper is life. UwU. Hi, Sweet Spoons. Have you started your ASMR stream today, or is it an off day? I gotta be honest, I don't remember your schedule. I don't really play Genshin, but my model creator for the pink deer clearly does. So if you do exclamation point Genshin, you'll actually get a link. Hopefully, if that works. And today is your off day. Okay. And may I ask you a question, Sweet Spoon, since you also do ASMR? When you're doing it, and all of your audio levels when you're monitoring them, where on the EQ meter do you go? Because I'm trying to make sure that I'm compatible with most other ASMR streamers, as I don't want to be too loud and hurt the ears of sweet darlings when they come in for a raid. And I worry about it too much, you know. Clicking for the dialogue. I know. I can't remember if it was Sweet Milk, the one who raided me earlier. I watched them fall asleep to Genshin because they have narcolepsy 3 times because the dialogue wouldn't get over with, and they wanted to end stream. And I'll wait for your response, Sweetest Spoons. Also, hi Koha. How are you doing, my dear? And don't worry, Fofa. You're my sweet, pathetic, good angel kitty. Oh whoa. Next redeem I'll do will be water jar. Mm-hmm. There, I'll put that right there. Let me go type up the poll, and I'll go do this. Make volume, make louder. But I'm doing Slay, and stream was a rocky start because my encoder was so bad I was getting 2 FPS. I don't know why. And that was a little bit annoying. But it'll be okay, right? It's all good in the end. Let me find French. Français. There. Oh. Really? Okay. Let me just try French again. Hope for the best. Boop, boop, boop. De place. Oh, I like how I can't actually put terribly much there. There. We'll do a 5-minute poll. Anyway. Also, Willkommen Brot, or Guten Morgen Brot. How did you sleep, my dear? And for those wondering, I'm just a little bit conscientious of my mic volume, because when I get rated, I always fear that I'm just going to be too loud for their precious ears, and I don't want to hurt them. That's why. So thank you for each and every vote. Let me try reading German because I still want to improve it. Oh, and the answer is bread. I like Rammstein. But I still need to learn more German here. So you have something. Oh, exclamation point burp. You have night ein Auge zugemacht. You can't understand. Whoa. I'm putting that stuff in the darlings. Looks like it's going right on the good old Twitters. Slay. Anyway, 500 burps. Good boy. 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 occurred to me I didn't post a Twitter of that I'm live. Oh well. I don't really care. Wow. Oh no, sweet Boba's sick. That's just tragic. That's okay. Just relax and enjoy. And what did you hear, sweet Snap? I hope it's all good. And by the way, welcome in, sweet Nicola. Sorry I missed you. I hope you're doing absolutely slay tonight. And yes, that's a great news, sweetheart. It's all slay in the end. Let me go give Nicola a sniff and work on the redeems here. Nicola, you smell like a bouquet of flowers, a freshly opened book, and a delicious strawberry Dr. Pepper. All very wonderful in my humble opinion. Good, Pat. Good, good, Pat. Okay. Good night, sweet Ollie. Sleep well. Stay slay, and remember that you are loved. Good night. Good, Pat. So soft, adorable, easy to wrap up in a small little blanket. Give a kiss on the forehead and wish a good night too. But I hope you've been well, sweetheart Nicola. And hi, Alex. Welcome in, dear. How are you doing tonight? And I'll go take a sip. I know bread. And it has really been interesting because I go from unsay so to say so. And honestly, I've been happier about it. Also, sweetheart spoons, if you're actively listening, but you're currently just doing something, I'm wearing my oversized sweater that's horribly stained, has a random cut in the end cuff of my right due to my cat and her claws, has a random coffee stain now for no reason. It's quite soft and I love it regardless. It's also 2XL and I wear a size medium because hashtag slay. Meowrick. Exactly. Now, let me go check the redeems. There's still a scissors I need to do. And exactly what Meowrick banned you for being too lewd. Exactly. Let's see. Redeem is currently Ear Lake Water Jar. And praise. Okay. Would you like me to do... Oh, Koha. Good night, dearest one. It's 20 minutes earlier than last time, but good night, dearest one. Sleep well. Dream well. Remember that you are loved and enjoyed for who you are. You ever so enchanting, Koha. And remember, you're as beautiful and as breathtaking as the day we met. Oh, they're coming back to streaming sometime in the future, darling. No, I just want to make sure that 𝓓𝓪𝓭𝓭𝔂, you get the best and greatest sleep. I'm assuming that you've been enjoying the sweet salsa recently. They're a real angel, aren't they? In fact, they even have an angel model. Now, current redeem I'm going to do is ear licks. Oh, well, they're a wonderful person whom I enjoy greatly, and they recently quit their stressful job at their law firm too, so hopefully they'll be able to stream more, and I honestly know that they'll do amazing, and they'll absolutely slay at everything they do, because I believe in them. In fact, I remember when they debuted. I feel ancient now. I'll do that one in a minute, Roxy. I remembered them before they streamed. I feel old. Good night, 𝓓𝓪𝓭𝓭𝔂. Have a kiss. Stay forever beautiful, you adorable moth. Wow. Twitch really keeps on rejecting my licking emotes. I'm so sad. Mayhaps, Brad. You'll probably just have to be much more say so over there. And, of course, no problem, darling Nicola. You're wonderful and amazing, and I enjoy having you here, dearest one. Should I call it deer tail or tail swish? I'm kind of curious. Okay, Leosa Bonesta. Cause you gotta get everyone. Tail swish? Okay. I'm actually, oh. I know, Panda. If you'd like one, just type Choco in chat. You can get one easily, sweetheart. bird is calling me? UwU? Where, darling? I'm kind of curious. The next redeem is going to be good kitty. Good kitty. Good kitty. Good kitty. Good, good kitty. Good kitty. Good, good kitty. Good kitty. Good, good kitty. Trying to remember what each of my little buttons is on here. Nope, not angry face, not surprise. Good kitty. Good. Good kitty. Good kitty. Good. Good kitty. Good kitty. Good, good kitty. You know this model has a mustache too I can put up. Isn't it real adorable? Good kitty. Good, sweet, amazing kitty. Good, soft, adorable kitten. So beautiful, so enchanting, so breathtaking you are. And I love that you, my dear, are in my life. Thank you, sweetheart. Good angel. Good, good angel. 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 And let's see, head pats from 𝓓𝓭𝓭. Okay, okay. Let me go put my phone over here. I think the next redeem I'm going to do after head pats is probably praise ribbon. Because who doesn't want a good cozy praise? Mm-hmm. Yeah, come here, come here. Oh, I forgot to say this, but this is just because I'm a broke furry. Regards to emotes. If you, at any point, ever feel like drawing cute emotes, whether for the server or for whatever, just do it. As long as they're not lewd, it'll all be okay. Good boy. 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 Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good. Good girl. Could someone summon sweetheart beans? I have a question for them. Theoretically, 𝓓𝓭, you may be able to answer this. If I were to to make my Fireplac account the server owner, and I were to connect it to Twitch, would that be able to make everyone use my emotes when they have a sub? Because I do want everyone to be able to use them. I feel sad when they can't. Good, Ribbon. I know you've only recently started enjoying your sweetheart, Ribbon, and that's okay. Because in truth, it doesn't matter how long you've been here. What matters is that I have you in my heart. For being so slay, so amazing, so wonderful and majestic, and that you remember that, darling. You are just so cozy to have here, so kind to everyone, and that's why, Ribbon, you are loved for who you are. So just keep on staying slay. Dream of cozy, soft things, from adorable cats to wonderful little fluffy cat bellies to cotton candy skies. It's all good, isn't it? And it's okay. You just stay the same amazing you are, my dear. And it'll all be okay. Because you are here. My sweet, sweet darling. It's let me get the VOD muted here. Clear my throat first. It's all over, but the crying, and nobody's crying but me. It's all over, but the crying, and I can't forget how much I care for you. Some say the goodest, sweetest angel in all of existence is you. And they would be 100% correct. You good girl. 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 Good boy. 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 I'll get to your kisses in just a second, darling. I'm going to do the eepy sleepies now. Good night, dearest Gabs. May you sleep well, dream well. Remember that you're beautiful and absolutely slay. May you dream of lemonade freshly squeezed from the lemon, delicious lollipops Pops and... is it Swirly Pops? I can't remember the name of the ones that are curled up. I'm feeling a little bit too old. Also, random thing. It seems like there's far too much caffeine in Dr. Pepper, or I drank too much too quick. And I can feel it, the caffeine in my joints. I'm old, aren't I? I'm ancient. But good night, dearest cabs. My lap is warm, and I have a bunch of soft blankies for you to enjoy, dear. So don't you worry about a thing, okay? Good night, darling. Nene, sleep well. Next redeem is going to be good bread. I'll do some... oh no, kisses is what it's supposed to be. Sorry. I don't want to miss out. I think after this I'll actually go back to the reading. And hello, Iro, sweetest one. How are you doing tonight, darling? I hope you're doing slay, remembering that you're amazing, wonderful, and loved for who you are, darling. If you'd like some redeems, I suggest you do them in a minute, because right now I'm going to get back to reading stories, because I kind of forgot this is supposed to be a reading stream. I just don't want to do a too long story. The Sprig of Holly by Frank Stockton. The Sprig of Holly is about a dwarf who demands that Dora and Colin give him a year of their lives in exchange for the last piece of holly, which starts their negotiation, a fine lesson in refusing to settle a bargain rashly. Published in Stockton's collection, The Floating Prince and Other Fairy Tales. One Christmas there was a great scarcity of holly in that part of the country where Colin and his little sister Dora lived. Everybody decorated their houses with Christmas greens, and as holly branches and berries were particular favorites that year, Colin and Dora wished very much to get some to put among the clusters of evergreens which their father had arranged over the big fireplace in their parlor at home, but not a leaf or sprig of holly could they find. "I'll tell you, Dora," said Colin. "We are too late. All the people have been out here, and I've picked every bit of holly they could see. We ought not have waited so long. It is almost Christmas now, and of course all the persons who wanted holly came and got it a good while ago. I know one thing. I'm not putting off picking holly next year. I'm coming out the woods before anyone else. Yes, indeed, said little Dora, and I'm glad that you're doing well, sweet Iro. And if you, my dear, would like some redeems, do them. They wanted so much to find some holly, and that they did not give up the search. Although they had been wandering about so long, they had found an evergreen bush with some berries on it, but it was not holly. All at once, Colin saw a fine twig of holly, with several great leaves and some berries as red as ripe cherries, gently waving about on the side of the great green tree, and it seemed as if it must be the only spring in some little bush. Without saying a word, Colin dashed forward toward the big tree, followed closely by little Dora, but when they had reached the holly they found it was not a bush at all, but it was held by a little dwarf who had been waving it over his head to attract their attention.
"Hello,"
cried the dwarf.
"don't you want a nice spray of holly?"
Colin did not answer at first. He was much too astonished, and as for Dora, she stood just close to her brother, holding tight to his hand. The dwarf did not appear to be big enough to do them any harm, but he was a strange creature that was no wonder. Colin hesitated before speaking to him. He wore a high cap, a funny little coat, and his breeches and shoes and stockings were all in one piece and fitted very tightly. Indeed.
"Do you want some holly, don't you?"
Yes, said Colin. I want some very much. We have been looking everywhere for it, but we couldn't find a bit.
"There isn't any more than this,"
said the dwarf.
"This is our spring in the whole forest, and it is splendid too. There has been no holly like it in this country for years and years and years. Look at the big leaves it has. See how bright and shiny they are, and what a fine bunch of berries is on it. It's very different from the piece of bush you have in your mind. That's not holly."
I know it isn't, said Colin, but I thought it might do, perhaps, if we didn't find any real holly.
"But it won't do,"
said the dwarf.
"Nothing will do for holly but holly. That's been settled long ago. You can have this, if you pay me for it."
How much do you want? Asked Colin.
1 year of your life,"
said the dwarf. If Colin and Dora were astonished before, they were ever so much more astonished now. Why? What do you mean by that? Stammered Colin.
"I mean,"
said the dwarf,
"that for 1 year you are to belong to me and do everything I tell you to do."
I won't do that, said Colin, who had now recovered his spirits. It's too much to ask. Yes, indeed, said little Dora, clinging closer to her brother.
"Well then,"
said the dwarf,
"what will you say to 6 months? I will let you have this spring for 6 months of your life."
No, answered Colin, that's too much to do.
"Will a month suit you?"
asked the dwarf.
"That's not too long. Indeed, it is."
Indeed, it is a long time, answered Colin. I should think it was a dreadfully long time, if I had to do everything you told me to do for a month. Yes, indeed, said little Dora. Well
"Well then,"
said the dwarf,
"suppose I say a week." Nothing could be more reasonable than that. I'll let you have this splendid sprig of holly, only one you can get anywhere, if you will agree to belong to me for only a week.
No, said Colin.
A day, then,
Said the dwarf.
I'll let you have it and be mine for 1 day.
Colin did not answer. He stopped to think. What could the dwarf want with him for 1 day? He might tell him to do something very hard and very wrong. Perhaps he'd make him commit a burglary. That could be done in less than a day. While this conversation was going on, 2 little dwarves, much smaller than the one with the holly sprig, were crouching behind a mound of earth, on which the large dwarf was standing, and endeavoring in all sorts of ways to catch Dora's eye. They had a doll baby which they held between them, trying to make her look at it. They seemed unwilling to show themselves boldly, perhaps because they were afraid of the larger dwarf, but they whispered as loud as they dared.
Oh, little girl, don't you want this doll? It's a splendid one with wiggly legs and arms. You can have it for just 1 year of your life. Or if you'll be ours for 6 months, you can take it. Look at it. You can have it for just 1 month of your life, or a week, a short little week.
But neither Dora nor Colin saw or heard these earnest little creatures, and directly Colin looked up and said, "No. Let me fix my voice here. No, I don't agree for it for even a day."
Well then,
said the dwarf.
I won't be hard on you. Will you agree for an hour?
Colin thought about it. In an hour they might be made to do something he didn't like at all. Nobody could tell what these dwarfs would want the boy to do. So he said, "No, not an hour."
A minute then,
said the dwarf. Colin hesitated. It was not a long time, but he might be made to fire a gun or do something very dangerous in a minute. "No, sir," he said.
A second?
cried the dwarf. "I might strike Dora in a second," thought Colin, and he sung out, "No, I won't." "And hi, Zombina. How are you doing tonight, my dearest? Are you traveling back home now, or are you enjoying VR chat, dearest?"
Well then, will you take it for nothing?
asked the dwarf. "Oh yes," said Colin. "I will take it for nothing."
Here it is, said the dwarf. I am very glad indeed to give it to you.
"Well," exclaimed Colin, in surprise, "you're a curious fellow, but I am very glad to get the holly. We are ever so very much obliged." "Yes," said Dora. And she fairly jumped for joy. The 2 little dwarves were now nearly frenetic in their endeavors to make Dora look at their doll. They still were afraid to call out, but they whispered as loud as they could, "Oh ho, little
girl, look here. You can have this doll for 1 short week of your life, for a day, for an hour, for half a second, for a minute, for 1 millionth part of a second, for the 20 millionth part of a second, or nothing at all. You can have it for nothing."
But Dora heard not a word they said, and never looked at them. "Why are you so glad to give me the holly? Why are you so glad to give me the holly?" said Colin to the dwarf. "And if you wanted me to have it, why didn't you give it to me at first?"
"Oh, I couldn't do that,"
said the little fellow.
"We've always had to go try to work here. We can get the boys wherever holly too, and I'm glad you didn't make a bargain, because if you had, I didn't know what in the world I should have to set you doing. I offered it to the boy last year. He agreed, and I told him for 6 months. He would engage for longer than that, for his summer holidays would begin at the end of that time, and I knew he thought he'd rather work for me than have gone to school. Well, I had a dreadful time with that boy. After the first week or two, I couldn't think of a thing for him to do, and he had done everything I wanted. I would tell him to go and play, and he'd come back in an hour or two and say, "I've done playing. What should I do next?" And then I'd have to shake my fist at him and look as cross as I could, and tell him if he didn't go play and stay playing, I would do something dreadful to him. But of course, that sort of thing wouldn't do very long, so I had to find work for him until his time was up. It nearly wore me out. I think if he had agreed for a year, it would have driven me crazy.
But how did you come to have this holiday sprig if this boy ended? Oh, Sweetheart Milk. Is Sweetheart Talus or DOG streaming? They're always wonderful darlings. But how did you come to have this holly sprig if this boy ended?
Oh, the first thing I told him to do after his bargain was made was to give me back that holly. We have to do that, or else we can't keep on hiring boys.
I call that cheating, said Colin.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed, said little Dora.
I suppose it is,
said the dwarf,
if you look at it in a certain light. But we won't talk about that now. You have the holly sprig, and I have no way to ask you to give it back to me. You can take it home, and I shall never see it again.
Hurrah!
Goodbye.
He made one little jump backward behind the big tree, and was gone. Scroll back. Colin and Dora now hurried home, very happy indeed, for no such sprig of holly had they ever seen as this which the dwarf had given them. It would look so splendidly over the fireplace. The two little dwarfs ran after him as fast as they could. Where had we got to? Said one to the other, just as they had caught up to Colin and Dora. We were at nothing, said the other. All right, then. We won't go back on the bargain. Then they both ran in front of the children, holding the doll between them, and called out, "Little girl, will you have this doll for nothing?" Colin and Dora stopped short. This was truly a most astonishing sight. "Look at its arms," said the larger dwarf. "See how they wiggle. You can make it sit down. Will you take it for nothing?" Dora did not hesitate. "Yes, indeed," she said, thrusting the doll into her hands. The two little dwarfs gave a wild shout and rushed away, with the long tails which they had to their bonnets waving in the wind as they ran. The children then hurried home as fast as they could, and when they had told their story and shown their gifts, great was the surprise and delight of everybody, for no one had ever seen such a large-leaved, bright-berried sprig of holly as the one the dwarf gave Colin, or so fine a doll of remarkably wiggly arms and legs as the one the little dwarfs gave to Dora. The thing that pleases me most about it, the thing that pleases me most about it all, said their father, is Colin's steady refusal to make a rash bargain, even for a short time. Colin, my boy, I think you are to be trusted. Yes, indeed, said little Dora, hugging her doll and looking proudly into her brother's face. Wow. I'll be real honest, that stories make me fall asleep. And I can't. I'm supposed to be the one reading. Playing Halo with friends and DOG is resting after a hard week of work. Well, I'm glad for Sweetheart DOG. And Sweetheart Milk, or anyone. Exclamation point burp. But, Sweetheart Milk, could you remind me after stream on the Fleetlix account to link it to Twitch and get the 100 bits for Sweetheart, or get 100 bits and give DOG but a single one for feet pics. And Meister, sweet, soothing voice Meister, shouldn't you be taking a nap, darling? And hi, Forb. I'm glad that you're still here, darling. Christmas Every Day by William Dean Howells. Oh, that reminds me. How are you doing, Forb? And I also need to transition more to my Felix Discord account. And oh yes, I need to ask a whole bunch of lovely people for their OCs, because I need to make a wallpaper again this year. And Cottontails, thank you, my dear. You see, I grew this mustache, darling, when I saw you. And ever since then, my Riz has gone exponentially better. By the way, Cottontails, thank you for the follow, dear. If you would like a free trigger, just look at the menu that's been pinned to the very top and select a free trigger. Thank you, darling. Thank you. In the meantime, I'll be reading a little story, and you go redeem whatever it is that you would like, my sweet dear. Okay? And don't worry about whatever it is. I enjoy doing all of them except for Pop Rocks. Pop Rocks is quite annoying, but hey, it gets a giggle and that's perfectly fine. Let me see what redeems I have to do anyway. I have to do head pats and scissors, I think. Oh my. I'm getting old, aren't I? So very old. I'm trying to see if I have any other ones. Yep, scissors, probably another water jar. Is the yawn command broken now? Why is Stream Elements being so broken? I'm having to transition everything to Nightbot. Or whatever else. This is getting so disappointing. Comfy blanket / pillow pile of plushie flops onto pile. I have so many cute plushies that we can use, sweetheart. There's my little knitted Minecraft bee. There's my cute cat that's also, what, a shark. There's, oh, I think there's another that I'm forgetting about. There's my JXE plushie. I know, Cottontails. We can get all the cute blankies freshly washed, smelling like roses. Like a warm, cuddly cuddle pile. Invite person, because they're all wonderful. Really? My cottontails, how very wonderful. Sure, you can be my bunny if you want, sweetie. It's all good. And we could have a nice peppermint hot cocoa. Enjoy it as the fireplace roars. Warms us all up. Probably toss in a heated blanket to make sure that we're just perfect. I'll wear my thigh highs so I don't lose any heat. We can watch some Christmas movies if you want. Does that sound like a fun, cuddly time? I think it'd be darling, yeah. So let me just give you a bunch of head pats. You can relax. Enjoy the sounds of the fireplace. And very soon, I'll get back to reading Christmas stories for each and every beautiful darling to fall asleep to. I think content. Exactly. You think one of my emotes is sweet? Oh my dear. Best emote on Twitch. But I do have plenty more. Like this one's feet, 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 this one, this one. And am I missing any? Oh, there we go. It's all good though. Because you don't have to like feet to like ASMR. You can just be resting, cozy, content. Listen to my voice. Enjoy me as you do. And don't forget, sweetie, you still get a free trigger. Well, I'll just continue the head pats for a minute. Yosh, yosh. 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 Yosh, yosh, yosh. Yosh, yosh. Oh, very cute. And puppy night. I have great news. I'm sorry I forgot to say, or didn't say hello earlier. Because I didn't have a coffee. I'm starting to notice that I'm crashing. Even if I did have, Dr. Pepper. Oddly, it's not giving me the energy that coffee does. It has more caffeine. Interesting, isn't it? But the good news is, sweetheart Calliope, I should be having a tail sway emote coming soon. And it should be approved, I think, in a day, because, I mean, it's a tail emote. I literally uploaded 2 versions of it because Twitch just doesn't like me anymore. Okay. I can upload an emote that is quite literally named the same as someone else's with the same artist attributions, and they will deny it. And it's just a foot licking emote, you know. Anyway, let me get to those kisses, sweet cotton. And do you want to be called Cotton Bunny? Chubby Bunny or Tails. I always want to know what people like being called. Like Calliope also likes being called Puppy Night too. And they're just as perfect for it. Now let me go do those kisses. Well, of course. You deserve them all. There we go. Next redeemed. Let's see, has anyone redeemed any? I don't think I did the good bread for bread, but that's okay. Let me go itch my nose. The nose. Oh, Schmenny Man liked my 500 burps. How adorable of them. Nostril, if anyone knows about this. You just want to be burped in the face. Why am I? You know the nose. And the nose. Also ignore the model just glitching out. It does that. I think it's coming to the point where I should probably see if I can, Oh, thank you, Cotton. My, cats also enjoy them, and whenever I'm in the server and post a picture of, me petting my cat, people quite enjoy that, sweet Cotton. By the way, how'd you, like to be referred to, still? I don't think you answered that one, sweetie. Bunny. Okay. Bunny. And the next redeem is going to be praise for the good girl ribbon. That one seems cozy, doesn't it, sweetheart? I think it does. Ooh. Let me go do a thing here. Here. I'll get it just ready for you, my darling. If you're nice. Get ready to add this to the quotes. If you're an ASMR artist who doesn't burp in your face, then you just ain't doing it right. Yes, sir. Now come here, sweetheart. Come here for the hugs. I know it's been a long, long night, sweetheart. And you've done plenty of things. Both busy, tiring, and just a long, long day, my dearest. It's okay. It's finally late at night, and everyone will accept you for just closing your eyes for a little bit. It doesn't have to be long, my sweetheart. Just close your eyes, my sweet girl. Close your heavy, tired eyes, my good girl. 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 Good, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good, good girl. It's time to rest, my dearest. I'll wrap you up in a cute snow leopard print blanket. It's warm and soft. Perfect for you to be wrapped in, my darling. Cozy and wonderful. I can wrap you up like an adorable burrito. Lift you, put you on my lap, give you a peppermint hot cocoa, or just a peppermint tea. You can sip it as your eyes steadily become heavier and heavier. Perfect for you to rest. Pay no attention to anything else. Listen to the fireplace and the rain as it makes its normal noise. Pitter patter, 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 pitter patter. And as the fireplace roars, your attention drops. Your eyes are closed and you don't need to pay attention to anything else. It's all okay, my dear. You just worry about yourself. And thank you, sweet rabbit. Thank you. Have a good rest, sweet Tiana. Remember that you're loved and enjoyed for who you are, dear. I'll give you a good night kiss. There you go. Rest well, dearest. And the next redeem is going to be... Wait, did I do the kisses for darling 𝓓𝓪? I don't think I did. Okay, give me a second here. I go take a sip of my Dr. Pepper and I'll do the kisses. Then I'll do 𝓠℣𝓏. Because who doesn't love 𝓠ℏ𝓏? I have to lower the gain though. It tastes like strawberries and Coke Zero. Or not actually Coke Zero, Pepsi Zero. Close enough. Okay, kisses time. Understandable, it is 2:20 a.m. Ah, Draconia. Hi. How are you doing? I don't know what RR means, sweetheart. And let's see. Next. Ah, same time zone, sweet cotton. Or sweet bunny if you want. Ah, next redeem is going to be Kalimba.
I'll do the Stitch voice if you want.
Oh, you're in Euro time. Français, Deutsch, Dansk, Svenska, Espanol, Italiano. Yeah, I can't remember any others. Sorry. Finland? No, Salmi. No, Finland isn't the same time zone. It's halfway between Russia and something else. Ah, Svenska. Or is that the wrong word for it? I completely forgot about that, didn't I, Rabbit? And you redeemed the Swedish, speak something in Swedish, and you said it's your native language. My apologies to your Rabbit. By the way, Rabbit, if you want to join the Discord at 16 plus, say so. Just exclamation point Discord. And same goes to everyone else, though. It is say so, and that is enforced. And if you not say so, then you get a bonk. That's very... Thank you. Now,
A little bit more of the Stitch voice, as I get it all ready for the Kalimba.
I mean, if you use the emote hug with 2 G's, you will get a cute one. Now, Kalimba time. Everyone, close your eyes. Get ready. Sure, I'll do that in just a moment, trying my best to also welcome in, dear. And sad to hear that, sweetheart Meister. I was going to get some headphones today, but they were such a good deal that when I woke at 12, they were already sold. They're a pair of Bose wired and wireless with noise cancellation headphones that were a little scuffed. They sold within a day because they were priced under $50. I know. And before I forget to ask, Sweetheart Triscuits, how did Sweetheart Kaz's stream go? I wasn't able to enjoy it as much as I wanted, and today was just one of those days where I wake up, do errands, and subsequently fall asleep afterwards. I need to really tune this. Last free keys on the right side. They just do not sound good. Then once it gets to F, it actually sounds okay. Ah, Octo. Welcome in, sweetheart. How are you tonight? I know, sweetheart Kaz is truly a cozy, beautiful darling, whom I love and enjoy greatly, sweetheart. And they're so very precious. And each and every moment that I remember I have them in my life, I'm glad and happy. I'm glad that you're good, sweetheart. If you'd like, Octo, feel free to do some trigger redeems. Then I think I'll probably read a story or two and do some more triggers, and yeah. Eesh, sorry. And I'm doing Slay Octo. I had delicious food today. I needed to do more shopping than I did, but I can just do that another time, really. It's never a problem, darling. Not really. After all, it is Christmas time, and I still need to buy some Christmas presents. You're getting very eepy, very eepy, very eepy, very eepy. And I still have a while to go, so time to get real cozy cotton. Next redeem is Good Little Bunny. Then I'm going to do hairbrushes. Oh my, 36 hours? Fellow bad sleep gang? I might actually sleep after stream for once instead of just staying awake for too long. Okay, okay. Good little bunny. Good little bunny. Yeah, that's understandable though. Good little bunny. Such a good, beautiful little bunny you are. So enchanting, so beautiful and awe-striking. You good little bunny. Good bunny. Good bunny. Good bunny. Good little bunny. Hopefully, sweetheart smooths. I've been feeling rather tired the past few days due to poor quality of sleep. So, hopefully, dearest. Good little bunny. My sweetest, precious little bunny. Good little bunny. Good, good bunny. Come here. 8 melatonin gummies. That's a good way to get some sleep down. When I took my first ever melatonin, I slept for how many hours? 12, I think it was. Quite a lot, in other words. My good, sweet little bunny. Good bunny. Yeah, yeah. And that's okay, Omega Rabbit. You just rest well down. It's all good. Just rest your eyes and relax. It's all gonna be okay. Rest here, my dear. You're safe here, my darling. It's all gonna be okay. Oh, and let's see. I have hairbrushes for name I'm blanking on. Then I have, you know, I really need to get this model re-rigged. It moves a little bit too much. That's okay though. I'm sure I can probably fix it at some point if I remember. Let's see, next one is going to be earbrushes, frog, sniff for puppy night, health, and sip. UwU. Let me go brush those ears, okay? I'll probably only do a minute of brushing though. And that's perfect, Cottontail. You rest well and rest good. You can join the Discord server if you want to keep up with notifications. It's !Discord. Same goes to any sweet darlings. And yeah, enjoy the ASMR. and milk. Will you be streaming tonight? I'm kind of a bit curious. And Mega Rabbit, do you have any last minute redeems? Do you want me to give you a good night kiss on the forehead so you can sleep well? Here, have one. Sleep well, darling. Ooh. Yeah, I probably won't be awake in the morning. I am tempted to take a melatonin and pass out for a few hours. So, hopefully it'll be good. And if you want, Mega Rabbit, before you go, I'm always going to shill myself, because shilling is what keeps you alive, you know? There you go. Feel free to join Omega Rabbit and anyone else for all the wonderful coziness. UwU. And cuddlefish. 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 But sweetheart milk, I like only getting 3-4 hours of sleep a day. Cuddlefish. Cuddlefish. I would have to say, sweet puppy night. You smell like cherries, a little bit of raisins, and licorice. All very wonderful indeed, I might add. There. 5 minutes of cozy little pats. Now I'm going to do frog and health check. Actually, if Rabbit's already gone to rest, I might not do frog, because it sometimes wakes people up, and I don't want to do that, you know. I want everyone to get the goody-bee sleepies. So, I'll take a sip of my tea, or water in this case, and then a little stretch. That water's been sitting in that water bottle for too long. Okay, stretch joints. And let me see. Kisses for ribbon. I'll do those for 1 minute. And then I will get back to reading, my dear. Funny thing, my cat right now is snoring, and I can hear her because she sleeps right next to the air vent where it's warmest. Now, back to reading, dears. Christmas Every Day by William Dean Howells. Every children's dream and nightmare. Christmas Every Day was published in William Dean Howells' collection, Christmas Every Day and Other Stories Told for Children, 1892. You may also enjoy reading The Pumpkin Glory and The Pony Engine and Pacific Express, perfect read-alongs of young children, particularly between Thanksgiving and New Year's. Maybe you can tell as good as a fib as Howells can. A little girl came into her papa's study, as she always did Saturday morning between breakfast and lunch, and asked for a story. He tried to beg off that morning, for he was very busy, but she would not let him, so he began. Well, once there was a little pig. She put her hand over his mouth and stopped him at the word. She said she had heard the 3 little pig stories before, too. She was perfectly sick of them. Let me see if I can get this burp. Well, what kind of story shall I tell then? About Christmas. It's getting to be the season. It's past Thanksgiving already. It seems to me, her papa argued, that I've told as often about Christmas as I have about little pigs. No difference, Christmas is more interesting. Well, her papa roused himself from his writing with a great effort. Well, then, I'll tell you about the little girl that wanted Christmas every day of the year. How would you like that? First rate, said the little girl. You know so many little girls with voices like that, don't you? And she nestled into a comfortable shape in his lap, ready for listening. Very well, on this, little pig. Oh, what are you pounding me for? Because he said a little pig instead of little girl. I should like to know what the difference between a little pig and a little girl that wanted Christmas every day. Papa, said the little girl warmingly. If you don't go on, I'll give it to you. And at this, her papa darted off like lightning and began to tell the story as fast as he could. Well, once there was a little girl who liked Christmas so much that she wanted to be Christmas every day of the year. and as soon as Thanksgiving was over, she began to send postcards to the old Christmas fairy to ask if she mightn't have it. But the old fairy never answered any of the post, and after a while the little girl found out that the fairy was pretty particular and wouldn't notice anything but letters, not even correspondence cards in envelopes, but real letters in sheets of paper and sealed outside with a monogram or your initial. Anyway, so then she began to send letters. In about 3 weeks, or just before Christmas, she got a letter from the fairy saying she might have it Christmas every day for a year, and then they would see about having it longer. So the little girl was a good deal excited already, preparing for the old-fashioned once-a-year Christmas that was coming the next day. Perhaps the fairy's response didn't make much of an impression on her, as it would have made at some other time. She had just resolved to keep it to herself and surprise everybody with it, as it kept coming true. Then it slipped out of her mind altogether. She had a splendid Christmas. She went to bed early so as to let Santa Claus have a chance at the stockings. In the morning she was first up of anybody and went and felt them, and she found hers all lumpy of packages of candy and oranges and grapes, and pocketbooks and rubber balls, and all kinds of small presents, and her big brother's was nothing but the tongs in them, and her younger sister's was a new silk umbrella, and her papa's and mama's with potatoes and pieces of coal wrapped up in tissue paper, just as they always had every Christmas. Then she waited till the rest of the family were up, and she was the first to burst into the library when the doors were open, and look at the large presents laid out on the library table, books and portfolios and boxes of stationery, breast pins and dolls and little stoves and dozens of handkerchiefs, inkstands, skates, and snow shovels and photograph frames, and little easels and boxes of watercolors, and Turkish paste and nugget, and candied cherries and dolls' houses, and waterproofs, and a big Christmas tree lighted and standing in a waste bucket in the middle. She had a splendid Christmas all day. She ate so much candy that she did not want any breakfast, and the whole forenoon the presents kept pouring in that the expressman had not time to deliver the night before, and she went round giving the presents she had got for the other people, and came home and ate turkey and cranberry for dinner, and plum pudding and nuts and raisins and oranges and more candy, then went out and coasted, and came in with a stomachache, crying, and her papa said that if his house was turned into that sort of fool's paradise another year. And they had a late supper, and pretty early everybody went to bed cross. Here the little girl pounded her papa on the back again. "Well, what now? Did I say pigs? You made 'em act like pigs. Well, did they? No matter. You ought to put it into a story. Very well, then, I'll take it all out," her father went on. The little girl slept very heavily, and she slept very late. But she was awakened by at last another children dancing round her bed, with their stockings full of presents in their hands. "What is it?" said the little girl, as she rubbed her eyes and tried to rise up. "Christmas, Christmas, Christmas," and waved their stockings. Nonsense. It was Christmas yesterday. Let me just save my spot. Her brothers and sisters just laughed. "We don't know about that. It's Christmas today anyway. You come into the library and see." Then it all flashed on the little girl that the fairy was keeping her promise, and her year of Christmases was beginning. She was dreadfully sleepy, but she sprang up like a lark that had overeaten itself and gone to bed cross, and darted into the library. There it was again. Books and portfolios and boxes of stationery and breastpins. You needn't go over all that, Papa. I guess I can remember just what was there, she said. Well, and there was the Christmas tree blazing again, and the family picking out the presents, but looking pretty sleepy, and her father perfectly puzzled, and her mother ready to cry. I'm sure I don't see how I'm to dispose of all these things, said her mother, and her father said it seemed to him that they'd done something just like this the day before. But he supposed he must have dreamed it. And this struck the little girl as the best kind of joke, and so she ate so much candy she didn't want any breakfast, and went around carrying presents, had turkey and cranberry for dinner, then went out and coasted and came in with a Papa. Well, what now? What did you promise, you forgetful thing? Oh, yes. Well, the next day, it was just the same thing over again, but everybody getting crosser, and at the end of the week's time, so many people lost their tempers that you could pick out lost tempers anywhere. They perfectly stewed the ground, even when people tried to recover their tempers. They usually got somebody else's, and it just made the most dreadful mix. And hi, Cooper dear. How are you doing tonight, darling? Or, rather, I should say, this evening. I'm doing rather sleepy. I'm quite surprised at that. You're blah. Well, that's okay, sweetheart Cooper. But I may be eepy, but I want to get to the 4 hours, and I still have a story to finish, my dear. But I assure you, with my current level of eepiness, I am very much ready to just brush my teeth, wash my face, and plop right into bed, or plop right into bed. And if you, my dear Cooper, would like some cozy redeems, just ask. And good night, 𝓓𝓭. Sleep well, dream well. Remember that you are loved and enjoyed for who you are, darling, and what you are is perfection. Don't you ever forget that, darling. UwU. Kisses? Okay. I'll do kisses after the story, and frog after the story. Oh dang, I'm not finished with it, dear. There's still some more to it. Let me just... The little girl began to get frightened, keeping the secret all to herself. She wanted to tell her mother, but she didn't dare to. She was ashamed to ask the fairy to take back her gift. It seemed ungrateful and ill-bred, and she thought she would try to stand it, but she hardly knew how she could. For a whole year, so it went on, and it was Christmas and St. Valentine's Day and Washington's birthday, just the same as any day. And it didn't even skip the 1st of April, though everything was counterfeit that day. And that was some little relief. After a while, coal and potatoes began to be awfully scarce. So many had been wrapped up in tissue paper to fool papas and mamas with. Turkeys had got to be about $1,000 apiece. Papa? Well, what? You're beginning to fib. Well, 2,000 then. And they got just to passing off almost anything for turkeys, half-grown hummingbirds, even rocks out of the Arabian Nights. The real turkeys were so scarce, and cranberries, well, they asked $0.10 apiece for cranberries. All the woods and orchards were cut down for Christmas trees, and where the woods and orchards used to be just looked like a stubble field with the stumps. After a while, they had to make Christmas trees out of rags, stuffed with bran, like old-fashioned dolls. But they were plenty of rags because people were so poor, buying presents for one another, that they couldn't get any new clothes, and they just wore their old ones to tatters. They got so poor that everybody had to go to the poorhouse, except for the confectioners and the fancy storekeepers and the picture book sellers and the expressmen. They all got so rich and proud that they could hardly wait upon a person when they came to buy. It was perfectly shameful. And, by the way, how are you this morning, sweet thing? I hope you're doing slay, my dear. Well, after it had gone about for 3 or 4 months, the little girl, whenever she came into the room in the morning, saw those great, ugly, lumpy stockings dangling about in the fireplace, and the disgusting presents around everywhere. Used to just sit down and burst out crying. In 6 months, she was perfectly exhausted. Couldn't cry anymore. Just lay on the lounge and rolled her eyes and panted. About the beginning of October, she took down to sitting on dolls, whenever she found them. French dolls or any kind. She hated the sight of them, and by Thanksgiving she was crazy, and just slammed her presents across the room. By that time, people didn't carry presents around nicely anymore. They flung them over the fence or through the window or anything, and instead of running their tongues out and taking great pains to write, for dear Papa, Mama, brother or sister or Susie or Sammy or Billy or Bobby or Jimmy or Jenny, or whoever it was, and troubling to get the spelling right and sign their names for Xmas 18 dash dash. They used to write in gift books. Take it, you horrid old thing. Then go and bang it against the front door. Nearly everybody had built barns to hold their presents, but pretty soon the barns overflowed, and they used to let them lie in the rain and anywhere. Sometimes the police used to come and just tell them to shovel their presents off the sidewalk, or they would arrest them. Ah, you're working from home, so your office is your bed, dear. Good. Sounds real wonderful. And they did go at first, said her papa, but after a while the poorhouses got so full that they had to send people back to their own houses. They tried to cry when they got back, but they couldn't make the least sound. Why would they, or why couldn't they? Because they had lost their voices saying Merry Christmas so much. Did I tell you how it was on the 4th of July? No, how was it? The little girl nestled closer, an expectation of something uncommon. Well, the night before, the boys stood out to celebrate, as they always do, and fell asleep before 12 o'clock, as usual, expecting to be awakened by the bells and cannon. But it was nearly 8 o'clock before the first boy in the United States woke up, and he found out what the trouble was. As soon as he could get out of his clothes, he ran to the house and smashed a big cannon torpedo down the pavement, but it didn't make any more noise than a big, damp wad of paper. And after he tried about 20 or 30 more, he began to pick them up and look at them. Every single torpedo was a big raisin. And then he just streaked upstairs, examined the firecrackers and toy pistol and $2 collection of fireworks, and found that they were nothing but sugar and candy painted to look like fireworks. Before 10 o'clock, every boy in the United States found out that his 4th of July things had turned into Christmas things. Then they just sat down and found that they were nothing and cried. They were so mad. There are about 20 million boys in the United States. So you can imagine what noise they made. And so you can imagine what noise they made. Some men got together before night with a little powder that hadn't turned into purple sugar yet, and said they would fire off one cannon anyway. But the cannon burst into 1,000 pieces, for it was nothing but rock candy, and some of the men nearly got killed. The 4th of July orations all turned into Christmas carols. Then anybody tried to read the Declaration instead of saying, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary, he was sure to sing, God rest you, merry gentlemen. It was perfectly awful. The little girl drew a deep sigh of satisfaction. And how was it at Thanksgiving? Her papa hesitated. Well, I'm almost afraid to tell you. I'm afraid you'll think it's wicked. Well, tell anyway, said the little girl. Well, before it came Thanksgiving, it had leaked out who had caused all these Christmases. The little girl had suffered so much that she talked about it in her sleep, and after that hardly anybody would play with her. People just perfectly despised her, because if it had not been for her greediness, this wouldn't have happened. And now, when it came to Thanksgiving, she wanted them to go to church and have squash pie and turkey, and show their gratitude. And they had said that all the turkeys had been eaten up for her old Christmas dinners, and she would have to stop the Christmases, and they would see about the gratitude. Wasn't it dreadful? And the very next day the little girl began to send letters to the Christmas fairy, and then telegrams to stop it. But that didn't do any good, and she got to calling at the fairy's house. But the girl that came to the door always said, not home, or engaged, or at dinner, or something like that. And so it went on till it came to the once-a-year Christmas Eve. The little girl fell asleep, and when she awoke in the morning, she had found it was nothing but a dream, suggested the little girl. No, indeed, said her papa. It was all every bit true. Well, what'd she find out then? Well, it wasn't Christmas at last, and it wasn't ever going to be any more. Now it's time for breakfast. The little girl held her papa fast around the neck. You shan't go if you're going to leave it so. What do you want it left? Christmas once a year? All right, said her papa, and he went on again. Well, there was the greatest rejoicing all over the country, and it extended clear up into Canada, and people met everywhere and kissed and cried for joy. The city carts went around and gathered up all the candy and raisins and nuts and dumped them into the river, and it made the fish perfectly sick. And the whole United States, as far as Alaska, was a blaze of bonfires, where the children were burning up their gift books and presents of all kinds. They had the greatest time. The little girl went to thank the old fairy because she had stopped its being Christmas, and she had said she hoped she would keep her promise. And, hi, Beast YT. How are you, my dear? I'm currently reading a little Christmas story called Christmas Every Day. I'm about to finish it and then get on to doing some triggers. And if you, my dear Beast, would like some cozy triggers, feel free to look at do exclamation point menu and look at it, and select a free one, my dear. And overall today I'm doing quite slay. I got a cookie and some delicious coffee. The coffee turned out to be a little old, so I had to throw it away, unfortunately. And I did have some delicious food, so overall my day is slay. But I'm very sleepy, to be honest with you. Ah, beast. Okay. Then beast it is. In the meantime, you can look for redeems you like, or triggers. I'll finish this story and get right back to doing some cozy ASMR triggers. The little girl went to thank the old fairy because she had stopped it being Christmas. She said that she had hoped she'd keep her promise and see that Christmas never came again. Then the fairy frowned and asked her if she was sure she knew what she meant, and the little girl asked her, "Why not?" And the old fairy said that she now was misbehaving just as greedily as ever, and she'd better look out. This made the girl think it all over again carefully, and she said that she would be willing to have it for Christmas about once in 1,000 years, then 100, then 10, then she got it down to 1. Then the fairy said that was a good old way that she had pleased people ever since Christmas began. And she agreed. Then the little girl said, "What are your shoes made of?" And the fairy said, "Leather." And the little girl said, "Bargain's done forever," and skipped off, and hippity-hopped the whole way home, and she was so glad. "How will that do?" asked Papa. "First rate," said the girl, but she had to have the story stop, and it was rather sober. However, her mamma put her head in at the door and asked her papa, "Are you never coming for breakfast? What have you been telling that child?" "Oh, just a moral tale." The little girl caught him around the neck again. "We know. Don't you tell her what, Papa? Don't you tell what?" And that was the end of Christmas Every Day by William Dean Howells. Now, to do kisses, frog, cuttlefish, toasted coconut, and any other redeems that people would love. Woo-woo. Let me just go do some things here. It might take me just a second. I may go do some ear lickies, if you all would enjoy that. Oh, good news, darlings. The swish emotes have been approved. So, I'll call this... I'll go and put that one right there. And... should I get rid of the rainbow or leave it? Such a hard choice. You like kisses? Ear lickies? You want those, sweetheart? No problem. By the way, Tail Swish has now officially been added if you simply refresh, darlings. So, let me just go do some goo chat things here. And... look, isn't it beautiful, darlings? Exactly. See, sweetheart Meister? You added plus 20% slay. I also forgot to say, Beast, you get a free redeem if you follow UwU. And a praise for ribbon. Whoa. I have good news, darlings. See? It's darling forums. And you want good bunnies? Okay. Oh, the good news, darlings. Are you ready? The AI VTuber who does ASMR is now at 17 viewers. Exactly, it's Sweetheart Forb, whom we all love and enjoy. UwU. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to say, redeems will be free beyond this point. Just put them in brackets. I'm kind of a little bit too lazy to type that. And yeah, AI ASMR streamer. They look great. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was doing things. Next one is going to be toasted coconut. 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 Toasty roasty. Toasty roasty. Thank you for the follow. Peace, darling. If you, my dear, would like a free redeem, just put in brackets, darling. UwU Rawr. 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 Ooh. Tommy making noise. Rawr. 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 A hug? Okay, darling. My next redeem, I think, will be frog. But I can do. Give me a second to burp. My next redeem will be a frog. Then I will do a hug, and good boy and good girl will. Blob, welcome in, dear. It's really just you because I normally stream for about 4 hours. But welcome in. I missed you, darling. Now, come here, dear. Come here. Come here, darling. Time to get your hug. I know your day has been long and difficult. And that's understandable, my dear. That's okay. Because now is a perfect time for you to just be wrapped up in a warm blanket. Get all nice and cozy. Close your adorable eyes. Let the coziness of the fireplace take you over and become perfectly cuddly, cozy, and wonderful, my dear. You need all your EV sleepies after all, and you certainly deserve them, darling. Just it's gonna be okay. You're safe here, darling. Close your eyes and rest. It's gonna be okay. Rest. Rest. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good boy. Good angel. Good, good angel. Good boy. Good boy. And this is a reminder to all cozy lurkers who've been enjoying me. Train. Okay, train. Listen to that beautiful train. I love trains. I can't tell if it's trying to signal if it's at the tracks or yeah, 3 short, 1 long, it's at the tracks. But oh my.
You try becoming too robotic.
But it's all okay. I love trains. I know. Gotta look both ways, broski. But a reminder to all workers before I forget. If you're enjoying me, just haven't left a follow, feel free to. You don't want to miss me next time, of course. That'll make me too sad. Now, Ribbon, my darling. Ah, yes, yes. I do have another model too, sweet beast. Would you like to see it? If you want to, just say yes. Oh wait, you know what I was supposed to do this stream? I was supposed to only use the foot. Shall I do pretty much a redux of this? Cozy Daddy Stories by the Fireplace. True Model question, True Form question mark. And it'll just be a foot the whole entire time. I think I need to do that, don't I? Okay. Here's the other model. No lewdness, okay? No. 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 You'll probably notice that the tracking on this is much better. That's under, okay, you know. Time to chat for applause. Exactly, darling. Applaud. Exactly, beast. So very cute, isn't it? But sweetheart Ribbon, you lovely, adorable darling. You're so beautiful, so special, so precious and lovable. Having you here, being all wonderful and sweet, oh, cozy and darling, really does make my day, sweetheart. You're good, angel. Good angel. Good angel. If anyone else has any redeems they'd like to do, please do them. 3:26 a.m. And I'll be real blunt with you, darling. I've had a lot of water. And we're nearing 4 hours, and I haven't gotten any break. You can guess. Oh, how about we do both good boy and good girl? Good boy. 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 Du bist ein guter Junge. Du bist ein guter Junge. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. I feel like I'm missing a few redeems from what people put in chat, but it's all okay. Oh, sweet milk. The normal time. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. My little pog champ. Aren't you my good, sweet, amazing pog champ? Yes, you are, darling. My sweetest, bestest, most adorable pog champ in the whole wide world. My little pog champ. My adorable puppy. My sweetest, adorable, breathtaking puppy. Good puppy. Good puppy. Good puppy. Good, good puppy. Good kitty. Good, good kitty. Aren't you my goodest, sweetest kitten in the whole wide world? Yes, you are, darling. And you're perfect for that, too. Good angel. Good, good angel. Good angel. Good, good angel. Good Good, darling. Good, Bonnie. You beautiful, adorable Bonnie. Good, Benoy. Good, sweet, beautiful Benoy. Good, Benoy. Good, good, Benoy. Good. I can't remember a word. You're breathtaking for it, my sweet dear, my sweet forest puppy, my sweet fawn, my enchanting sweetheart. Good darlings. Let me do some ear lickies. Okay, there you go. Here is all my socials. Oh, let me go put an E there. And here is a message, sweethearts. Feel free to go copy that. I thank each and every one of you for being in my life. Remember that you're loved and enjoyed, and I love you for that. Good night, darlings. Good night, Meister. Good night, Ribbon. Good night, Cooper. Good night, Malk. Good night, Forb. I'm going to take a shower and be healthy, you know. Bye-bye. Love you all.